Good afternoon, everyone. I'm your host, Alok Kumar Jha. We would be starting the webinar shortly. Thank you for the patience. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm your host, Alok Kumar Jha. We are waiting for some more people to join, and we will be starting the webinar in a minute. Thank you for your patience. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. On behalf of Advent Informatics, I, Alok Kumar Jha, warmly welcome you to today's webinar on an exciting and highly relevant topic, Unleashing RIDE, a breakthrough in 3D ligand-based virtual screening. We are delighted to have you with us and look forward to an engaging and insightful session. Before we delve into today's discussion, allow me to briefly introduce you to the organizing company behind this event, that is Advent Informatics Private Limited. Headquartered in Pune, Advent Informatics is a premier distributor of cutting-edge life science software solutions. Our expertise spans across chemoinformatics, molecular modeling, medicinal chemistry, data curation, and management of chemical and biological information. We proudly serve a diverse clientele, including pharmaceutical, chemical, and CRO companies across India, as well as prominent academic and government research institutions. At Advent, we are committed to empowering scientific innovations by making world-class renowned softwares accessible to Indian researchers and educators. We currently represent a distinguished portfolio of global partners, including Molsoft LLC, Chemexon KFT, Chempas, Certara, Transgene IT Solutions, and KeyModule. Our mission is to bridge the gap between scientific challenges and technological solutions, driving discovery forward. It's now my pleasure to introduce you to our speaker for today's session, Dr. Samsher Singh, a senior application scientist at Advent Informatics Private Limited. Dr. Singh has completed his PhD from JNTU Hyderabad. Dr. Singh has 18 plus years of experience in industry, mostly CROs. To name a few, GVK Biosciences, Curia, Sci Life Sciences, etc. He is an expert in the field of computational chemistry and molecular modeling with a strong focus on drug discovery technologies. At Advent Informatics, he plays a pivotal role in training and supporting researchers in implementation of software solutions related to virtual screening, molecular docking, and chemoinformatics workflows. His deep understanding of structure-based drug design combined with hands-on experience with industry-leading tools makes him an excellent guide for today's session. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Singh as he takes us through the essential of unleashing right, a breakthrough in 3D ligand based virtual screen. Dr. Singh, the floor is yours.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah. So, good afternoon, everyone. So, unleashing right, a breakthrough in 3D ligand based virtual screening. So, this is the topic which we are going to look into. So, before jumping into right and other details, let me introduce ourselves. So, Advent Informatics, we were founded in the year 2016. We are an 8-year-old company and we are based out at Pune. So we are a prominent distributor of molecular modeling, bioinformatics, cheminformatics, and lab data management softwares. So we provide here the first level of technical support to all the products which we distribute. We recently we ran a survey where we were rated 5 out of 5 for our response. So we could respond to 50% of the queries in less than an hour and another 85% in less than 3 hours and 100% in less than 24 hours. So this is something about Advent Informatics. So here are our partners, Chemexon. As everyone know, Chemexon is a global leader in the cheminformatics area, where you can do structure sketching, editing, saving, and storing all the data. And you can do library enumeration, where you can do reaction-based and Markush enumeration, various other property prediction, clustering, and many other methods. MolSoft is a molecular modeling tool where you can perform all the small molecule docking, homology modeling, and various other tools like it. You can also perform bioinformatics and cheminformatics activity. Satara, it's a D360 integrated data visualization analysis tool. ChemPass, this is an AI-assisted lead discovery and forward reaction-based design rule using rule-based. So if you are a synthetic chemist, if you wanted to see increase the success rate of your reaction, so you can use this ChemPass, which is dependent on the rule-based AI. So if you have a lot of documents with the structure sketched in there, and you can convert those uneditable structures to an editable format using key module. So Transgene is a Bangalore-based company. They are only Indian company with which we are partnered with, which provides solutions into electronic lab notebooks, chemical inventory limbs, and other compound data management services. This is something about MolSoft. This is the complete landscape of the MolSoft. So MolSoft was founded in the year 1994 by Dr. Ruben Avagyan. At that time, he published two methodologies. One is based on internal coordinate mechanics, and the other one was the bias probability Monte Carlo method. So these two are the base of this particular molecular modeling tool called MolSoft. So during that year, Bristol Myers Squibb, Novartis were the early adapters of this particular technology. In the decade of 2000 to 2009, we partnership with many other companies, where one of them is SGC, Structured Genomics Consortium, for developing SCARAP and ActiveICM. ActiveICM is a free plugin where anyone can download. It can be used for visualization purposes. And we also partnership with Novartis for developing a 3D ligand editor. This is one of the very good tool where you can do the modifications in the of the compound in the active site, and you can get the results on the fly. So this is a very interactive way of designing the molecules. And in the recent years of 2000, there was the first crystal structure of GPCR was resolved, and the crystallographers threw a challenge to the companies as well as the academia to predict or to build a homology model of it. So we have participated in that particular challenge, and we were ranked top as a top commercial tool in predicting the homology model structure and predicting the biological conformation of the molecules. And we also participated in the Capri challenge, where we were ranked first. And in the year 2008, Maxim Tortov published another methodology called atomic property fields. It's a pharmacophore point-based pharmacophore. In the decade of 2010 to 2019, deep learning methods Molescreen has been launched, which consisted of 2,500 models where you can use for ADMET calculations and many other drug repurposing also. So Giga Search has also been launched in the same decade in collaboration with Inamin and NCI. And in the year 2017, the Rampex Pharmaceuticals, they launched a drug called Vibomere, which is a beta-lactamase covalent inhibitor. And the computational work or the designing work that was carried out in this particular molecule, Vibomere, was completely carried out using MolSoft ICM. We also participated in 3 different D3R challenges, which were in 2017, 18, and 2019. In 2017, it was a single protein and 100 compounds, where we were ranked number 1. And in the next year, it was 6 different proteins with a different defined set of molecules. There also we were ranked top. In 2019, it was a different situation altogether. It was predicting the binding mode of the base macrocyclics. Usually, predicting that binding mode of a macrocyclic is very tough, but still we outperform the other tools available. Novartis also identified used ICM VLS using 30,000 cores on Amazon Cloud, where usually the computation would take 39 years, which they could complete in the span of few hours, and they could end up with 3 lead compounds. Hungarian Academy of Sciences, they published an article on different covalent docking tools available, and they have found ICM MolSoft covalent docking was one of the best. And in the decade of 2020, we also launched Rapid Isosphere Discovery Engine, and we also have added Artisan, which is an AI-based score to the docking score. And we are also integrate ICM tools are also being integrated with various therapeutic companies like Arrakis Therapeutic Discovery Platform and Ligand Therapeutics. There are many more other things. So who are the users of MolSoft in India? So from a commercial side, we have Syngene, which is the biggest CRO in India. They use ICM MolSoft as a primary molecular modeling tool for their complete research. We have Origin Oncology, Origin Pharma, the subsidiary of Dr. Reddy's. Even they use ICM MolSoft for their research activities. Zydus and Think Molecular and Eurofins, these 3 also use MolSoft as their molecular modeling tool. So there are certain prestigious educational institutions which also use MolSoft for their research, like VIT, Vellore Institute of Technology, ETHAMS Hyderabad, Chanak University, NIPER Guwahati, and Central University of Kerala. And many more, we are expecting many more academic institutes to be added to this list. So what are all the different ICM MolSoft tools that are available? So in ICM, we have ICM Pocket Finder to identify the binding sites. And for docking, we have small molecule docking. You can do induced fit docking, where we have 3 different methods. The 4D docking, where you can generate an ensemble of multiple conformers of the active site, and you can generate this 4D. And you have partially explicit docking hybrid, and you can also do scare method. And we also have covalent docking, protein RNA docking, protein docking, and 3D ligand editor, which I spoke in the earlier slides, which is one of the best tools. We also have a dedicated PROTAC modeling tool with MolSoft. And we have recently integrated OpenMM to MolSoft, and we can also do homology modeling. And on the virtual screening, ligand screening, we can do ligand-based APF docking, structure-based VLS, fragment-based, and which is available in both CPU and GPU. You can also do pharmacophore search and do 2D and 3D QSL. You can also do SAR analysis and combinatorial chemistry. You can do scaffold-based and reaction-based, and you can also calculate the MPO multi-parameter optimization. and you can also calculate the PCA, principal component analysis. You can also do the ADMET predictions, chemical clustering, and 2D receptor ligand interaction diagrams, and you can predict the effect of mutation using Mercy algorithm. And MoleSoft is also being integrated with few biological and small molecule databases. PDB, UniProt, Campbell, and other Drug Central and COD. So using the MoleSoft interface, you can access all these databases. This is something, the types of different screenings that are available with the MoleSoft: structure-based virtual screening and ligand-based virtual screening. So we have classified them into two different things. In structure-based, where you can do small molecule docking, APF docking, which is a hybrid of both APF as well as the small molecule docking, and you can do template-based docking. You can do fragment-based, ensemble docking, nothing but a 4D docking, and also covalent docking. Coming to ligand-based virtual screening, we have APS-based similarity search, sheet-based similarity, pharmacophore modeling. You have RIDE, and you can do 2D fingerprint similarity, cluster-based diversity, and QSAR. So now let's quickly jump on to RIDE. What exactly is RIDE and what it does for us? So it's a fast 3D molecular similarity search based on APF. So what it does, when we give a query, it takes that, using that query, we should have a pre-generated conformers. So where it searches the database and aligns those molecules and gets the results of those molecules which are isosteric to the query, so that the resultant molecules would have similar 3D configurations and distributions of atomic properties. It is very faster on CPU as well as GPU. So it can screen up to 1.5 million conformers per second on RTX 4090 GPU. It uses pre-generated conformers, rigid body APF superimposition, optimizing the translations and the rotations. So this is a new systemic search algorithm designed for SPREAD, which uses high-level heuristic focusing search on most relevant space and pre-computed lookups and compound data storage and concurrent evaluation of many poses. So the compact data storage means for a single molecule, it would not consume more than 200 KB. So it is much faster on CPU, especially when you use a multi-core, and even on GPU, the implementation is still a very high orders of magnitude. So what are all the applications? RIDE applications. So where all we can use this RIDE for? We can use for virtual screening, scaffold hoping studies, and heat follow-up. So in the virtual screening, we can efficiently screen a giga-sized libraries. In scaffold hoping, for example, to identify the structurally novel chemicals based on the lead. So coming to heat follow-up, for example, if you have a lead compound, you can find chemicals that have similar pharmacophoric properties. Atom weighing, this is something where during the selection of the query, you can give a certain part of your molecule with a higher weightage. So this is something called atom weighing, and excluded volume and shape matching. So an envelope penalty is imposed for complete or the partial molecule, which we will be seeing in the practical. And this prioritizes the chemicals without bulky extensions on the constrained regions. What is the technology that RIDE uses? So RIDE uses APF, nothing but atomic property fields, which is a 3D pharmacophore potential that is used for chemical superimposition, multiple compound alignment, virtual screening, 3D QSAR, and RIDE. So here you can see this is a structure of the ciprofloxacin, which we used here to generate a different APF. The APF constitutes various features like hydrogen bond donors and hydrogen bond acceptors and sp2 hybridization and lipophilicity, and the size of the large or small, and the positive charge and the negative charge. So let's quickly open a MoleSoft window and see how we can generate the APF to that. So to do that, this is the MoleSoft window. where I will be generating the APF for the resultant molecule. So to do that, I will open a 2D ligand editor. I will click on the search button and I will type ciprofloxacin. Select this ciprofloxacin and a single click will bring this ciprofloxacin into my 2D window. Now I will click on this button to add it to my table. And initially I have to convert this molecule into 3D. To do that, I have to give a right click, chemistry, convert 3D and optimize. So this is something auto-assign formal charges using pKa. ICM MolSoft has an inbuilt pKa where it assigns the formal charges at the neutral pH like Newt 7.2. So clicking on this, now we can see in the objects here the ciprofloxacin being added. When I click on this object ciprofloxacin, so it will hover me, the structure will be hovered into the graphics, 3D graphics window. So I'll click on Windows default layout, and then you can see the ciprofloxacin 2D structure has been converted into a 3D one. Right. Now I will convert this particular ciprofloxacin molecule into an APF based field. I'll go to click on chemistry, APF tools and consensus pH. I have to select this molecule before converting into a APF. Then I have to click on OK. Then this converts the molecule into a various fields like you can see here, donors, acceptors. You can see this particular nitrogen is a donor and we have carboxylic acids and a carbonyl group and positive. The same nitrogen is positive, also has a positive charge, and the carboxylic acid and aromatic ring system, which is an sp2 hybridization aliphatic. So there are different features, and if at all we want to screen the database in this API, that can do, we can go position and we can use APF based superimposition to template. We can use flexible APF and use multiple APF alignment. This is something related to APF. We are not is right, and we are just going to understand what are all that, what is the technology behind, right? It's again dependent on APF only. So let me go back to the PowerPoint. So the publication where in 2010, where they explain
Sorry to
the
interrupt you, sir.
publication
Hello,
like,
am I
yeah,
audible? Yeah. Sir, sorry to interrupt you. Actually, we are having some couple of questions. So if we can take at least a question meanwhile. So the question is,
yes,
how can we generate the library of our interest? If you could answer this.
yeah, that I will be coming in the upcoming slides. Once we finish off this, yeah, that we can do create a library. You can go to chemistry. You can generate 3D conformers. So for example, if you have your own library, you can import it as a data table and you can get the number of conformers you wanted for, like it may be 50 or 30. You can sample the rings, Cartesian refinement, and if there is any cis trans, you can, if your molecules have any cis trans chirality, you can sample this and systematic search and you can generate this. So if you have an SD file, you can browse the SD file from here as an input from which, and you can also give the SD file or any other file. You can do this and even right, and you can create your own set of ready. that okay? Okay, fine. So let me proceed with the publication on Giganti et al., where they the superimposition and virtual screening enrichment using other commercial tools. They said Axiom outperformed the other. So this is about the benchmarking of the where the benchmarking side was done using useful device set. We selected 102 target proteins and protein like around 500 plus per target as of 2.3 and 58 being. And none of this each one active compound, there were 50 decoys that were added. So over data set was 30,000 mean, and decoys, all decoys were added were matched to that particular target, and at least one X-ray.
Hi everyone. I think there is some technical glitch. Shamsher Singh sir would be back in I think 30 seconds. I really appreciate your patience. We are on it.
Audible now? Hello?
Yes, sir. You are audible. Yes, yes, you are audible. Kindly continue your session.
Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible. We can hear you. You can continue your session. Meanwhile, from the audience, if someone has any question, kindly drop them into the Q&A section. You can find that on the bottom taskbar of your screen.
Audible? Hello? No?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay, great. Sorry, there is some bandwidth issue. So this is the benchmarking of using Dude data set. So where they selected 102 target proteins consisting
I
of
think your
40 to
screen is not
592
visible.
ligands per
Kindly
target,
share your
and
screen, sir.
for each one active compound, 50 decoys were added, and these decoys were property matched. And the data set that were selected consisted of at least one X-ray structure. Yes. Now it's okay. Yes. Benchmarking. So it was like the enrichment factor range from 2 to 50%. So 2% being for the base inhibitors, because as we know, the base inhibitors are pentapeptide, tetrapeptide molecules. So hence there was very less percentage of enrichment factor compared to other things. It was 50% enrichment factor for S-adenosyl hydrolase. So coming to the speed, about the speed benchmarking. So the database screening was carried out. using 1.5 million compounds, which consisted of 30 million conformations. So each compound with an average of 30 conformers. So these are all the different technologies which uses APF in the MoleSoft. Using flexible APF, it would take around 44 days to complete this 30 million screen the 30 million conformations, and the speed of this of flexible APF was 0.38 molecules per second. And coming to rigid APF, it is 0.78, which would take 22 days to complete the simulation. And coming to right CPU, on a single CPU, it took around 229 molecules per second. So the complete computation could be finished in less than 2 hours. Coming to right GPU, it could screen around 38,000 molecules per second. So the total computation could be completed in just 48 seconds. So this is how fast it is. In the recent one, we ran another GPU run using RTX 4090, which could screen around 1.5 million conformers per second per GPU. And the above computations that were carried out were using Intel Core i7 CPU 2.93 gigahertz and GeForce RTX 2080. Going to the next slide. So what are all the pre-prepared screening libraries? So we have libraries which are pre-prepared with multiple conformations. From vendor library compilations, we have MoleSoft MoleCart compounds with 10 million, and e-molecules, we have 27 million compounds. These are vendor library compilations. And mid-size libraries like ChemSpace Freedom Set, around 160 million compounds. MQL with 40 and Enamine made building blocks has 5566 million. So coming to giga-sized libraries, it has Enamine real space consisting of 21 billion via vsynthase, and Enamine real has around 5.6 million, Wuxi has 2.5 billion, and Savvy synthesizable 1 billion, Liverpool Hyrochem, where you can have 1 billion molecules. And e-molecules, overall, it is now greater than 7 million compounds. So this is the library, pre-prepared screening libraries that are available with MoleSoft. So these are all the different write queries. So we will perform the practical of it. So here the Vioxx molecule, which you can see, it is generated the full envelope of it, and we have screened the database, and we have whatever the results are, few of the representatives you can see in the extreme right. And using a partial query envelope, you could see the molecules when we did not have the envelope on this aromatic ring, we could see the extension of the molecules on the other side. So here we will quickly jump back to MoleSoft, and we will try to see how to generate the envelope and all that. So similar to ciprofloxacin, we will search Vioxx, which is a COX-2 inhibitor. And then we will add this to the table. To that, we will give a right click, go to chemistry, and convert to 3D and optimize. We could see it has two aromatic ring systems and a sulfonic acid on the other side. And so we will generate a envelope around this. So here by default, it generates APF that it looks. So these are all the different features which are there. Like it has a couple of acceptors and a lipophilic and a hydrophobic sp2 hybridization. To chemistry, APF tools, right search. So selecting this, you can see the graphical selection. So the 3D conformer database, we can browse it, and wherever we have kept our database for multi-conformer database, so we can give the path of it so that we can access it. And then this is something the APF cutoff, you increase the APF cutoff, the number of compounds which we expect would be much more closer to our APF. So 0.5 cutoff is quite good. If this cutoff you are not getting any results, then you may have to decrease this APF cutoff. So let's keep it by default, and we will penalize the molecules that will hit the envelope. So let's display how the envelope first. So this is how the envelope looks. And then we can click on repulsion. If you off this, the molecules what we get out of this screening would extend into all the directions. So hence we will keep this checked. The number of hits, maximum number of hits, again it is user defined. If at all you want to see 100 or 1000 or 10 or whatever it is, so it is up to the user to specify the maximum number of hits. So again, going to server, if you have a URL and you have access to the server where you have all those pre-generated conformers, you can specify the path of the server and you can refresh it. As I don't have I did not connect to the server, and where you can access the databases and you can run the same as it is here. So I will not be running this particular job because it would take some time. So this is the way to generate a full envelope. So how about the partial envelope? To do that, I can go to chemistry, APF tool, and write search, and I will clear this envelope first. And then what I can do, partial envelope, I'll select this lasso button. I will select the molecule which part which I want to generate a display the envelope. So this way we can select the envelope and we can screen this. So now in this particular output, whatever the compounds I would get would have the extension on this aromatic ring side. So let us look into the results, as I already ran this particular job, and let's look into those details. So this is our query molecule, the one which is in blue color, Vioxx, and these are all the hits which we got using the full envelope. So they are almost completely aligned to our query molecule. So to name, I'll just scroll few of those compounds, how they align to our query molecule. So most of the molecules are sitting inside the envelope because this was the full envelope search. So let's see the results, how they look when we generated a partial envelope. So now you can see the partial envelope where we did not generate any envelope on this ring. So you can see certain extensions on this side, but the rest of the part of the molecule is completely aligned with the query molecule. See how this is completely diverse. Again, this molecule, complete extension on the other side. And here also you can see certain compounds going out of that particular envelope. So this is something where what the importance of envelope. So we will also try to run another search by using excluded volume. For that, what we will do is This is the donepezil compound. Add this to our table and we'll convert this molecule to go to chemistry, convert 3D and optimize. Click on this. So this is the molecule donepezil. Now, for example, I wanted to use excluded volumes. I mean, I want to run this right search inside the protein. So for that, what I can do, I want to have the crystal structure first. So to know which particular PDB I should take, what I will do is I will go to calculate properties and I will try to calculate the smiles of it. With the smiles, I'll go to search and paste it here. So these are all the different crystal structures that are available with donepezil as a co-crystal. So I can quickly double click on this. It will load into my graphics window. I'll delete this off. So there are multiple other things with regards to this donepezil. So I'll try to keep only one compound, one chain of this donepezil, and rest all things I will try to delete. So this is my donepezil molecule. So I have to quickly convert this to a PDB, to an ICM format. So here I will be using the protein as an excluded volume and we'll try to identify the structures. I mean, this is the process how to build it. This is how the donepezil is, where the donepezil is in the active site of the 2 inhibitor. So I'll try to move this out of the pocket, move off the object, and we'll try double click on this. But we will have to select the protein and convert it to an orange color. And we'll select the protein, donepezil molecule. We'll go to chemistry. We'll go to APF tools and search. Here we will use excluded. Here you can see the one where the protein is selected as excluded here in the red color and the ligand is selected donepezil as in the graphical window. So this way you can click on OK to screen in a different way. I mean, in presence of the protein. So here are the results which I ran. So I will try to hover over those results what I have got. This is something about what are the scores we get here. The score, strain, ID, and normalized score. Usually, normalized score is the best preferred one. Starting among compounds. So now you can see the red colored molecule is the donepezil drug, and the other molecules which I retrieved after screening were almost very much similar to our donepezil compound. There are the few hits what we can see. I'll try to off the protein so that we can view ligand correctly. These are all the different structures. So again, this is a different molecule which was retrieved using donepezil as a query. So this is something about different queries and different methods of performing, right? Where you use a partial query with a full envelope, and a query with a partial envelope, and the query with the molecule in the active site and considering protein as the excluded volume. This is all for today. Thank you, and
Thank you for the wonderful questions. Sorry, wonderful session, sir. We have received many questions while you are taking the session, so we'll go through these questions one by one. The first question is, what is the frequency of the database upgradation?
sorry, what is the frequency of the data? Every quarter.
Database upgradation.
So every quarter, the database, whenever we find some new compounds coming in, the upgradation is done every quarter.
Okay. And do you provide the pre-generated databases?
Yes, but
We were unable to hear you, sir.
yes, the pre-generated databases are available if you
Mhm.
have a GPU license for write.
Okay. The next question is, can I use these structures in research papers?
Definitely.
Okay. Actually, sir, we have a long list of questions, but we won't be able to take them because of the time constraints. So thank you for the wonderful questions coming through during the sessions. We appreciate your active participation. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, we couldn't address all the questions submitted. But rest assured, all the unresponded questions will be reviewed and our team will get back to you via email with detailed answers. With that, we come to an end of today's webinar. On behalf of Advent Informatics, I sincerely thank Dr. Shamsher for sharing his expertise and delivering such an insightful session. A big thank you to our audience for your time, engagement, and thoughtful questions. We look forward to hosting you in our upcoming event. Have a great day ahead and goodbye.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.